Good day, everybody. I hope that you are well, and I also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today, we'll be doing our grade 3 English lesson be and to have. And before we start, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once we've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, once you've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select the subject of English Language Arts, grade 3, and then we're going to scroll down up until we get to the chapter of to be and to have. All right. So our chapter is to be and to have. Our subject is English Language Arts, grade 3. And the lessons that we are going to be focusing on under the chapter of to be and to have and use the correct form, and then also to have, and then also to use the correct form. All right. So that is going to be lessons for today under our chapter of to be and to have. That is to use the correct form to be and to use the correct form to have. All right. So when it comes and to have, right? To be and to have is to do with our tenses, right? It is to do with either our present tense, our past tense, or it is to do with the future tense, right? So when it comes to be, right, we're specifically talking about, for example, if we make mention of our present tense, then we're talking about am, referring to I. So am I, is, for example, she, he, it, or words like are we, you, or they, right? And then when it also comes to the present tense, to have, and then it's like us asking ourselves, have, for example, I, you, we, or they, and has, we refer to either she, he, or it, right? So when it so with to be, right, we say that we are going to use the correct form of to be, right? And then we're going to use the correct form of to have. Because if you think about the past tense, right? Let's say, for example, if we look at this example of to be, like an activity, it says he speaking to Mr. Lester after class. It is basically about your tense, right? So it's like I was saying with a present tense, for example, if you make mention of am, right? Or you, for example, make mention of I, then you will, for example, say I am. In the past, right? If one person or thing is doing something, we will say, for example, he, she, it was, or if we refer to more than one person, and then we say they were, right? And here we have an example of either present tense or we have past tense, right? So we're not going to be focusing on the future tense. Yes, and that sentence, it was. Well done. So if we look at the verb, for example, it's not even really the verb, but if we look at let's say the verb to be, right? When the verb is to be, then it is also that it is irregular, right? So when the verb is irregular, and then it means that it does not follow any rules like adding d or adding ed, right, to our verb to show the tense that is either in the present or in the past tense, right? So when the verb is to be, then it is irregular, because then irregular means that you're gonna have to just know the specific verb. It does not follow any rules that most of the verbs follow. Like I say, when you add d or add ed, you're just gonna have to remember the form of that verb. And here we have an example, right? Not even an example, but yes, we have an example. And then it says, I. If I make mention of I, right? Where I'm either going to say, I'm going to do something, and we're specifically talking about the present tense, right? If I make mention of I and I'm going to basically say what I'm going to be doing, then, for example, I would say, I, in the present, I am, right? So that is when we use the word to be. So I am. And in the past, I would say I was, because now we're referring to one person. I was. So I am now, but in the past, I was. And then if we refer to a singular person or singular thing, like for example, he, she, or it, then we say he or she is doing something now. So he is doing something now. Or in the past, he, she, or it was doing something now, because it refers to one person or thing doing something. And when we make mention of either you, we, or they, which is more than one person, right? Plural form. And then we say they are in the present tense, they are now. Or in the past, we say they were. So we either say you, we, or they are, you, we, or they were in the present, in the past tense. So that is our verb to be, right? All right, and now we're going to do an activity before we go onto our test. All right, if we look at this sentence, right? So we need to add in the to be irregular verb, right? And it says complete the sentence with the correct past tense form of to be. So we need to complete the sentence with the correct present tense form of to be, right? All right, so if it's present tense, and then we're going to use words like, do we say we? Do we say we are? Do we say we am? Or do we say we is? We need to choose one of these words, right, to add within our sentence. So do we say we are, we am, or we is usually on vacation for the whole month of August? We need to choose the correct word. or the correct form of to be to complete the sentence with the correct present tense. And keeping in mind, like I said, if we are referring to more than one person, right? Keeping in mind it's more than one person, I specifically made mention that if we use a plural subject or we refer to more than one person, then we use mm. If we're referring to a singular subject or referring to one person, then we use mm. Or if we're referring to I, and then we use mm. And if we were to choose the correct form, and then yes, we are going to say we are usually on vacation for the whole month of August. So well done, because we said that in the present tense, right? Because in the present, we use are to refer to more than one person doing something. All right, if we go on to the next one, the next sentence says, it. Do we say it is? Do we say it was? This is now the past tense. It were, it am. We need to choose the correct one. It is, it was, it were, it am. Nice spending time with my mom. So we need to choose the correct past tense form of the word to be. And if we were to choose the correct one, we would say it was nice spending time with my mom, because we use the past tense form to be, and we use was. And the last one, we say Patrick referring to one person. Do we say Patrick were, or do we say Patrick was in the canoe on the lake? We need to choose the correct one. So Patrick were or Patrick was in the canoe on the lake. So Patrick were or Patrick was in the canoe. And we need to show the correct past tense form of the verb. And if we were to choose the correct one, we would say Patrick was. Because if we refer to one person or thing doing something, and then we use the word was in the present, in the past tense form. So well done. So now we're going to our test where we are going to use the correct form of the word to be. All right. So now they say we need to correct present tense form of the word to be, of the form to be. It says they are or they am outside in the fort. We need to choose the correct form. Do we say they are or they am outside in the fort? All right. And if we were to choose the correct one, then yes, we would say they are outside in the fort, because if we make mention of more than right doing an action, and then we say they are outside in the fort. Well done. All right. The next one says you. Say you were or you was the star player in the game against the Eagles? You were the star player in the game against the Eagles, or you was the star player in the game against the Eagles? All right, and if we choose the correct form of the to be, for the form to be, and then we would say you were the star player in the game against the Eagles. So well done. Were is correct. He, do we say he, referring to referring to one person? Do we say he is or he are so excited about the trip to Mars? So he is or he are so excited about the trip to Mars. And if we were to choose the correct form, we would say he is because we're referring to one person, right? So we would say he is excited about his trip to Mars. So well done. Is correct. All right, the next one says, we are usually on vacation for the whole month of August, or do we say we am usually on vacation for the whole month of August? We need to choose the correct form. We are or we am. And if we were to choose the correct form, we would say we are usually on vacation for the whole month of August. Well done. R is correct. All right, let's do the last one and then we go to have. We need to complete the sentence with the correct past tense form of to be. Do we say you was or you were curled up under your blankets last night? You was or you were? And if we were to choose the correct form, we would say, you were curled up under your blankets last night. So well done. Were is correct. And now if we go to the next one, right? To be, to you, to have, sorry, to use the correct form. And when it comes to the verb, when it comes to the form to have, right? And then it means that we are going to use words like have, or we're going to use words like has in the in the present tense. So if we refer to one person doing something, right? If we refer to one person doing something, then we're going to say she, he, or it has. Or if we refer to more than one person as well as I, then we're going to either say I have, you have, we have, or they have, right? And in the past, we will then say had, and then we use all pronouns, right? So in the past, we had, I had, but it's just that in the present tense, right? We use, if we're referring to a singular person or thing doing something, we say has. And if we're referring to more than one person, as well as I, we say have. Like in this case, we say complete the sentence with the correct present tense form of have. So it says I. Do we say I? Do we say I have? Or do you say I has? Do we say I has? Or do we say I have washed the dishes and put them away? We need to choose the correct form. I has or I have washed the dishes and put them away. All right, and if we choose the correct form of the word to be, then yes, we will say I have. I have washed the dishes. So well done. Have is correct. All right, let's look at the next one. It says last night. This is not in the past tense. Remember, we said that in the past tense, we only use one form for all pronouns. It says last night, I, do we say I had, or do we say I have a hard time falling asleep? And if we were to choose the correct form, and then we can say I had. Because remember, we said that the past tense form, right? We said that the past tense form for all pronouns is had. So we use had for all of the pronouns. So well done. So had is correct. All right, yeah, again, we have to complete the sentence with the great past tense form of to have. Do we say by bedtime, I completed the zoo puzzle? What is the correct form? And if we were to choose the correct form, we would say, I had. By bedtime, I had completed the zoo puzzle. Right? All right, so now let's go to our test where we're either going to choose have, had, or has. Once again, before we continue with our test, we use have when we either refer to I have or the plural form where we say you, we, or they have. And we use has, we refer to she, he, or it, one person doing something. And in the past tense, we use had for all pronouns. All right, so now it says, what a surprise. Do we say I has for you or I have for you? And if we were to choose the correct one, then we can say, what a surprise I have for you. Yes, well done. Have is correct. So well done. The next one says, do we say she had or she has pen pals in Italy and England? Do we say she had or she has pen pals in Italy? And if we use the correct form, we can say she has. pen pals in Italy. And oh, she had. Oh, it's in the past tense. Sorry, I didn't even see that. It says in the past tense. Remember the past tense? All pronouns are had. So that is in the past tense. Sorry. All right, and the next one, it says he. This is not in the present tense. He has a good part in the play, or he have a good part in the play. We need to choose the correct form. He has or he have a good part in the play. Yes, this is the last one. And if we choose the correct one, then yes, we can say he has a good part to play in the part to play. So well done. This is now the end of our lesson on to be and to have. Thank you very, very much, grade threes. Thank you very much for joining the class, and I really hope that you're going to have a good weekend further. Yes, we are done. So have a good weekend further. Goodbye.